Good afternoon, metalheads, and welcome to another episode of Metal Sanctuary. Today's topic is live albums. Now, for this particular topic, I decided to do live audio albums and not, DVDs and stuff like that. And for me, what makes a really good live album is if it blends the songs blend together to seem like it's all in one concert, not you'll hear the song, you'll hear the crowd, then it fades out, then you go to the next song, and stuff like that. I prefer to be like I'm at a concert, um, or if I'm wanting to jam, got the broom guitar out, and you're just going on, and you already in your head the songs that are coming up. So for this, we have the top five, as well as a couple honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and get to the honorable mentions. First one, Marilyn Manson. I do consider it to be metal. I consider it to be shock metal, industrial metal. His Last Tour on Earth album, which came out in 1999, which was followed his Mechanical Animals CD. To me, I just really like the way those songs flow into each other. For number two, or I guess number one, really on the honorable mentions list for me, 1997's Pantera's 101 Proof. This came after their 96 album, The Great Southern Trendkill. For me, it just, I've never got to see Pantera live, and I can pretty much visualize just the antics on stage and Phil and Dime running around the stage. Just a great album. It also happened to include a couple of studio songs at the very end, which not a lot of live albums do, but I thought that was a pretty cool addition. So let's go into the top five. At number five, Exodus, Good, Friendly, Violent Fun, which came out in 1991 after the Fabulous Disaster album. They did this in San Francisco. It comprises of about 8 songs, and just the flow of the album, great songs like Chemical and Fabulous Disaster. The list goes on. There's just great songs on that record. At number four, 1998's Black Sabbath Reunion album, which was a double disc, and it was them bringing Ozzy back into the fold after about roughly 18 years. And, it sounds like what you'd think a Black Sabbath album would sound like with that band together. Obviously, Ozzy, his vocals changed when he was with his solo career. Randy Rhoads a big part of that, but I think that album was a better fit to how they sounded when they were all still together. He still kind of had more of a Sabbathy sound to his voice on the album. At number three, Slayer's Decade of Aggression, also a double album, coming out in 1991 following their Seasons in the Abyss album, which came out in 1990. Really good segues into the songs, like in the very beginning, you've got South of Heaven, which blends right into Raining Blood. You've got the way they come from Hell Awaits, which starts it off right into Antichrist. Just a great solid. I mean, all their classic songs, and what I consider to be the classic songs. If Slayer was to have put out a greatest hits, let's say after Seasons in the Abyss, I think that would have pretty much summed it up with those two records. Number two. Now, there's two versions of this album. One is a video and one is an audio. The video had more songs to it. And this is Overkill's Wrecking Everything, which came out in 2002, which was not immediately following a couple years after their Bloodletting album, which was at that point their most recent record. But they start the album off, that version off with Necroshine, which is my favorite Overkill song and album. Just great songs. Bloodletting, a great record. They've got Thunderhead from that record on there. Also, some of the older tracks like Evil Never Dies, Years of Decay, just a really good album. At number one, I don't know how you could go any different than Judas Priest, 1979, Unleashed in the East, done in Japan. And I mean, it's just, I mean, everything from, you've got just the great songs on there. Exciter, you've got Hellbent for Leather, you've got Delivering the Goods, Victim of Changes, The Ripper, Genocide, Tyrant. I mean, just a very great, awesome record. Halford's vocals blistering, as they should be at that point in time. So there you go. Those are my top 5 live albums, and I hope to see what everybody else has as for theirs. Any changes? As always, comment, subscribe, like, tell your friends. Stay metal, and God bless.